So the first couple of days I worked on a lot of straightness, just kind of cruising along with the horse. And now I'm going to try to put a little more bend and suppleness into him. And I want to do this. I do this a lot on all my horses because it's the foundation for everything. But I want to create that bend through the body, a nice uniform bend, no hard angles. Keeping the point of the nose about even with the shoulder. Trying to get the hip to incorporate into there to have a nice roundness. But this kind of just using a supple, quiet movement to kind of get him. So he has to bend his body. He can't hold that bit straight. He has to kind of think about how it feels when he's at an angle. Um, I'm not going to pull the horse into this shape. What I do is I just kind of keep my hand, and I try to keep my V of my reins between that horse's spine as much as possible. Um, sometimes if I need a little more inside rein, I might come slightly to the outside of his spine to create a little bit more inside rein uh, touch, but I don't pull out to the side because his head has to stay straight. If we want the spade in that bit to stay straight up and down, and we want his head, his chin to be right under the center of his neck for the most part. And so the bend has to come through the body. And so I'll spend a lot of time just kind of playing with these ideas. And I'll do this a lot of times. It really gets the horse supple. I'm not going to hold him in position. I'm going to shape his body and let him move. Shape his body and let him move. Right? Relax. So every time I touch something, I relax a little bit. Every time I touch it, I follow that with a relaxation and a return to the center of my seat as best as I can. Right? A turn to that neutral position. What I want to do is create a shape and seeing if I can have him maintain that shape without me doing much. Without any leg or when I create or holding him in place. Because then I know it's real. I really have the horse shaped and he's not in tension with it. And so I'll do this a lot of times and then maybe I'll go and ride off on the trail a little bit or do something different. But I really like, and I do this with all my horses, is see, I got to keep them supple, right? So as we start to get more engagement, more push from behind, that it's a tension move. It's a strength building move. You can't build muscle without some tension. And so as we're gathering them up to the wall, to the front end, to the bridle or the hackamore, whatever we are riding, you're creating moments of tension in this. And so going back and having them very, very supple in between those moments of tension, or basically stretching. So if you were working out, you wouldn't want to build like Arnold Schwarzenegger muscles, right? We want to build like ballerina muscles, strong but flexible, or gymnasts or something like that. At least that's my goal, is to build that kind of muscling. Um, a lot of people you'll see in their horses look more like cross-country runners, and that's fine if that's what you're doing. Um, I like mine to be more like dancers or gymnasts. I want to think about that kind of muscling. Strong, very strong and cord, but flexible. And so I never quit the flexibility. Flexibility and suppleness and that horse, when that horse will allow you to touch anything very lightly and shape around it, they'll give you so much more, and when the tension comes together, you won't get stiffness. The deer on the hill. All right. And anybody thinks, you're going to get a lot of collection without tension, you could see it right there. He saw something on that hill, and his whole body got ready. And so a bit of a tightness to it. Yep, I don't see him. When he's flexible, though, he's going to be more relaxed. So when things do get kind of out of whack, when we miss each other on a step or something, or when I ask him to come in, he's going to be more receptive to it. And then he's going to be able to maintain it, right? So I stay close to the horse, not hanging on him, but close to the horse. I'm helping him with the balance. And then I'm kind of loosening it up. So every time I create a little bit of a touch, right, or push him to it, what I'm trying to do is push him to it, right? So when I push him to the bridle, and he kind of gives it to me a little bit, then I relax. And I want him to maintain it on his own. He's kind of looking for monsters. I can't emphasize enough staying, correct, slow and correct. Don't get in a big hurry. This will come. It won't take a few days if you kind of stick with it. If you keep knocking him off the balance, he'll never find it. If you can't keep yourself in some sort of balance, he doesn't have a place to find, right? So if we're not in a point of balance, he can't find the center of our balance, can he? And that's what we want him looking for, the center of our balance. If our balance changes a little bit, I want him to find the new center of balance. And as soon as he starts looking for it, I'll return to the center of his balance to reward him. That's a lot of sentences with balance in it, but I guess that's pretty important to the system. So, anyway, more thoughts. I'm going to take him out on the trail. We're going to walk around, see some sights. Have a good one.